So, memory has been that part of your life that's either very helpful or very unhelpful because they're super unreliable, especially when you're doing a test. So, it's no wonder that everyone wants to know the secret to great memory and at least how to improve one's memory. Hi, I'm Haykal Afkar, and today I'm going to give you a little tip or two about how to improve your memory, hopefully. Before we get to the spicy details, we're going to have to understand a bit on how memory works. Memory refers to the information process where, much like a computer, we write, save, and then read information from our brain. Now, memory itself can be categorized into three different types. The first one being sensory memory. This memory is really short and brief, and this kind of memory comes when you receive stimuli like seeing something or something. This memory can literally just prove out of existence unless you have to actively transfer it to second memory, and that is the short-term memory. This type of memory you mainly encounter when you want to remember some small temporary information that when used you're gonna forget anyway. For example, let's say you want to treat your friend to a drink. You pick a drink and you remember their option and keep it until you're at the counter. After you state your order, you probably don't need to remember it anymore, so after like a few hours, you probably don't remember what the order was. This memory is useful for remembering short, small, temporary memories. Generally, we can only remember up to 7 items for up to 20 seconds, which isn't long at all. After that, it either poofs out of existence or changes to long-term memory. This information stored in this memory is more permanent, meaning that even after some time, you're probably more likely to still remember it. This information has almost limitless storage and long decay time. So when we want to remember something, we want to move that information to long-term memory. How well you retain your memory depends on how deep your processing is. Shallow processing allows you to store auditory or visual information based on the sound, structure, or appearance. For example, sometimes you just remember some information because it's such a striking sound or striking look. To really hammer it in though, you want to activate deep processing. This is where we remember information based on the meaning associated with the word. For example, you might not normally remember someone's name, but if you remember the meaning of their name or the achievement or history of them, then you're probably more likely to remember it. But if you really want to make it stick, try making it personal and meaningful. That'll stick. So now that we know how memory works, we can get into the spicy detail on how to remember better. The first one, the generic one, is to recall every information over and over and over again, or if you're a student, to study, study, study. I know it's generic, but it really works because the more you recall the information, the more you try to force it into long-term memory. The second one, as we previously mentioned, is to make it somewhat meaningful and personalize it so it sticks easier. The last one is to use mnemonics. One example is using acronyms like Mechiku Hibinimu or something of the sort. This way you can process information in different chunks, so it's easier to digest. You can also make a story or write a song that works. So here are some of the tips you can use to improve your memory and also how memory works. Thank you very much.